Okay, I hear something. What the f?
It's all related. It all somehow comes together. Hello.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I was just looking at my monitors. I got a bunch of security cameras outside, so I was making sure they were spider web free.
Yeah, so you don't want to ruin your pictures and recordings.
I'm telling you. But you know, we were coming back when I went to pick my motorcycle up today, and we were coming across a bridge in one of the rivers down here. And I had looked down, and we seen something, but we don't know what it was. We don't know if it was a black bear or not either. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I looked down, and it was drinking water, and so when it got up, it was on the hind legs. But I was on the Harley, and we were going over a bridge, and I was vibrating. You know what I'm saying? So my eyes weren't like really focused that well on it, and I couldn't tell. But whatever it was, stood up and then walked away. But one of the neighbors around there stopped and said that they do have black bear there, so that might have been what it was. But it was in the area where they actually found some large footprints a few years back too. So
yeah,
who knows? It was interesting. It was interesting.
so it stood up and walked away?
It did. Like I said, it was at a distance that I could not make out what it was as it was going between the trees, but it was on its hind legs. That's what it appeared to look like to me, you know, but, I can't say for sure what it was. It was just too far away. It was black. And we do have some black bear around here, and they are coming out now with the weather warming up as well, so. That's very possible.
Yeah, so tell me about your place there. You sent me a bunch of pictures, and I was looking at them. They look pretty good. You know, you said I was looking at your other page and on Twitter, and yeah, you got all kinds of stuff going on there.
We do. And like I told you, I've been a sensitive all my life, and so I've been seeing spirits all my life. And about 3 years, I guess it's been 3 years, maybe 4 years ago, I went out to take the trash out one night. And where I live at with the pond, I always shine a spotlight around to make sure there's no animals coming up on me here. Because we do got coyotes and all that as well. Excuse me. And next thing I look over, and there's these eyes looking at me. And at first I thought maybe it was a bear. And then it was peeking around a tree at me as in play like peekaboo. If that makes any sense to you. And then I noticed another set of eyes next to it. And then I realized that this bear was a pretty tall bear. And I went to go come and get Liz to tell her after I watched it for a good, I don't know, maybe a minute. And they didn't want me to leave, apparently, because as soon as I tried to get to go in the house, they actually pushed over 2 trees over there. And so I stopped, I backed up, and I looked over, and there was actually two more standing up on the levee of whatever these were at the time. And those would have been more about my size. And, but my mind starts telling me now what they might be. And, I wasn't into, Bigfoot per se and Sasquatch and all that. I knew about them, of course. I knew a lot about them, from hearing through the years on them, but I never ever went looking for them or anything like that. I've always been in, paranormal because that's just what I have. And I remember when this happened, I thought, my God, everybody knows I see spirits, and now I'm going to tell them I just seen a Bigfoot. They're going to think I'm nuts. And it really, really messed with me for a couple months, George. It really did. It really bothered me bad. And, I did have one group come out here, which wound up being, I'm not going to get into that, but, not to bear out for money, not for, discovery of the Sasquatch or whatever. But, so, after that happened, it wasn't even, I don't think it was a week. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, I went outside to clean my, security camera. They had spider webs on it. Well, usually I'll wait till the next day. I don't usually go out and clean spider webs off the cameras at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? But something, I don't know why, but I did. So I went out there with my little dust mop. I climbed up the stairs right by my front door here. So I was up there for, a minute, not real long. And as I'm climbing down, I realized that there's something to the left of me watching me. And as I looked over, this thing stood up, and I swear to God, George, I didn't know what to think. It was dirty white and gray. And from where I was standing, I told people it could have been between 9 and 10 foot tall. When it left, it was squatted down, is what it was. And as I seen it, that's when it got up and walked away. And he was so fast, but yet so graceful. You know what I mean? And, it's not like he was trying to, run from me. He was just getting out of dodge, but he was so quick, So, of course, after I went and changed my underwear, I went and grabbed a flashlight and a gun, but I never did find it, after that. But that's how it all started, And then after that, it's just constantly having events happen here. And I'm talking about events that they're allowing me to see things that just totally amaze me. And one time, just for instance, I heard a deer in distress, and it only lasted for a second. And then once it stopped, I heard this growl like King Kong, saying that he got, he made the kill. That was his kill. It scared me. It really scared me. But we have been getting a lot of events here, and we've been getting a lot of light anomalies. And there was that big one that happened in the middle of my yard here. I don't know if you've seen that one yet or not. And I got some kind of weird something in the shadows of that light there. A lot of times it looks like a dog, standing up. And but I don't know what it is. But we've been getting a lot of light anomalies here. And I definitely believe that, we have some type of dimension thing going on here. I actually have it on video where it happened in the house, and then it happened outside too. And it sounds kind of like lightning. And then sometimes you'll hear a boom afterwards, but the boom can be where you have to hear it with the headphone set, or it can be so loud it sounds like it's like something blew up in your house. You know what I mean? And the only thing I could figure is that, and when the one happened in the house, it was like after the flash, then it was a light anomaly came out of that flash. And I do have that on video if you ever want me to send it to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's very interesting. But, yeah, so, it took me a couple months to straighten out a little bit and be okay with everything because I didn't know how people were going to react to it,
Yeah.
But It was okay. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Well, that's a good thing, right? You don't want it to turn out to be something, where they're harassing your house or anything. If they're just walking around, maybe that's not so bad.
Well, they come up one time. Well, we don't know what did it. We didn't see it. But we woke up. It was around 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30, and we heard a tiny little knock on the dresser. And I went to the restroom, and I came out, and I said, Liz, spirits do that when they need our attention sometimes, Well, as soon as I said that, something hit the roof so hard, twice, the whole house shook. And our house actually goes into the ground. So you could stand outside and hit our roof. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But whatever hit it, it shook the house hard. And it's in the ground. But
do you think if it was tall, do you think something could stand on the ground and then just hit the top of the roof? Or
we went out and looked right away. We couldn't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what it was. I was assuming like it was a spirit at the time. Liz thinks it was a Sasquatch, actually.
Mm.
And, because this is all around that time when it all started. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we didn't get any, I did an EVP. I got a really strange EVP with it, but we really never really figured out what it was trying to say something was saying on the EVP itself either. So,
mm-hmm. Now, could you describe like the area where you live? Is it kind of deep woods? I've seen pictures, but for people that haven't.
Well, we do have the mountains around us too, and we have a ski resort not far. We're kind of on some farmland and then several acres of woods as well. Well, I guess, more than several acres, but, it goes out to Space Highway. So if you walk out my door and look at the pond and were to walk across the pond into the woods and keep going, you'll come to a highway.
Mm.
Well, that's where it was seen crossing by a fire chief. I can't give you his name because he's really worried that people are going to say something about it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people know he did see it. But he's seen one cross the highway there. And then we have a guy that owns the ice cream shop down here who actually seen something as well. He thinks it was something a little different what he's seen versus a Sasquatch. But the fire chief did see a Sasquatch, he said. And he was going on a call. He was in the vehicle they use for the fire chief. And he said he's got these really bright lights that go around it. So as soon as this thing jumps across the highway in the air, he hits the lights. When it lands, he said it was gone. He couldn't find it.
Wow.
He could not find it, yeah.
So it's not just you. There's other people that you've talked to that have seen things.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's and there was one guy who said his dog's got in a fight with something, and it said to him it looked like an orangutan.
Oh.
Yeah. He said all you could see was red hair flying up in the air all over the place.
Oh.
But and that's not far from me. Actually, that was my landlord. So,
okay. Yeah.
And he's another one that don't like to talk much about it as well,
Yeah.
I didn't even find out from him about it. I found out from somebody else about the situation, but yeah.
Now, did you happen to catch a description of what the other people saw? Like, was it dark colored or was it white colored? Or?
Yes, I did. Apparently, I think I'm the only one that's seen the white and gray one in this area. And the one he's seen, I believe it wasn't like solid black. I think he said that was more like a brown. He showed me like on the ground. He points the ground a little bit, so more like the color of like a brown and the dirt color type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, he said, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see a white or kind of gray one,
Yeah. Yes. And one of my pictures, it's just the face of one. I didn't even know it was over there. And I was doing a video that morning. It was very cold outside. And I didn't realize they even captured it until I went in and reviewed the video. But that looked like the white one that was actually by the house. He was only 25 feet from me.
Oh.
I hear it now. Yeah. That's how close he was. Yeah. I forgot to tell you that part.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
why I had to go change my underwear.
Yeah. What did it look like? Like, could you describe, like, height or girth, face?
It was like 9 foot to 10 foot tall, it seemed to me. And he was wide, very wide, more than muscular to me, as he turned away. But he didn't look real muscular. He just was just big. You know what I mean? Just big. And, but he didn't look muscular, that I could see. And I was watching pretty hard as he ran away. We didn't run. Like I said, he took these big steps and it was like instantly gone.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that video of the white one in Pennsylvania from Carbondale?
You know what? I have. And I sometimes go back and review it over and over sometimes to compare what I've seen here, per se. And when I seen this one here climbing off the chair, and he seen me see him, that's when he was getting up, turning away. So I did not get a good look at the facial structure as he was walking, getting up. As he got up from the squat, he's turning as he's getting up. But like I said, he was very wide. But he wasn't. I thought, they would be really muscular or something, Well, apparently some of them are, and some are not, But he was white and dirty gray.
Wow.
He was like a dirty white and gray. That's how I can put it better that way. It was like not like a snow white. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have any fish in that pond or anything they could eat, or what's?
Oh yeah. We have a lot of things going on here. So ever since all this happened, George, I have been hot and heavy every single day and night doing something that has to do with these things, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. And I have seen things that sometimes some people don't believe in that go along with them on the spiritual side of them. But I know what I've seen.
Yeah.
I know what I've seen.
Yeah, tell me about some of that stuff.
Well, we had some interesting things. Liz went outside one time, and she said that when she was out with the dog, these footprints came out of the pond, circled around, and went back into the pond. And she shows me the footprints, and she said they look like like a three-toed one you would see, I think, on some of the Sasquatch that people have captured with the cast. Mm-hmm. I think that's the way she put it to me,
Wow.
And, now the ones I've seen around here that I took some pictures of look more like the normal standard Sasquatch footprint to me. And then we had a big one, a couple big prints down here. At the store, he called me up and he said, we got monster. But they were down there. There was footprints down there. But at first I thought maybe I was seeing things in the beginning because sometimes the footprints would be only a few of them, and they would just disappear. They would start from nowhere and then nowhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I didn't get that until I started hearing other people talk about that.
Yeah, people do say that. Is it possible that maybe, like, they made a large jump, maybe 20, 30 feet one direction or up to a tree or something? Have you ever thought about that?
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. And that's very possible. Yes, that's very possible.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're fast. I watched one, it was dusk, and that's why I started learning to carry my phone outside with me all the time. A deer started running across the cornfield here, and next you know, there's something behind it I could see that was tall chasing it. So it's running like me and you would run. Then it went to where his lower body was straight up, straight down, but from the waist up, it was totally bent over like in an L shape. Then it went down to all fours. Yeah. So, of course, I found out later that that's apparently what they do as well. They apparently run on all fours sometimes. So,
yeah,
that would explain that.
Yeah, that's very interesting to see that too, because you don't hear many people that see that, Now, how long have you been at this location?
We've been here now for 5 years.
Okay.
And this is like the most active place I've ever lived as far as when it comes to spirits and ghosts. Every place I've lived, of course, I've always had spirits and ghosts around me because I'm sensitive. This place, though, is the worst I've ever been. They're outside, they're inside, they're all over the property. It's like something going on here that I've never seen before.
Now, let me ask you this. I've heard this from only a few people, but they've said that they think that they're inside their house, but they can't see them. But they've left evidence like hair and other things, screwing around with makeup or peanut butter, things like that. Do you have any sense of that?
I got a picture I'll send you. And I'll let you decide if you think it's more than them or not. And it actually looks like a Sasquatch, and then it looks like the thing with the weird ears standing right next to it. And I will send you that picture so you can look at it for yourself. And there's other pictures I had with spirits. When I look in there, they're hard to see. So I don't really put them up to say to somebody, hey, this is a Sasquatch maybe, in my house, because it is very hard to tell sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And but when I see some of these things, to me, it looks like a lot of times a smaller Sasquatch.
Yeah. So you do kind of get that feeling that maybe it might be.
I do. I get to smell there. Before the events start happening, I got this really bad smell one time. And I was joking around, and I said to the ghost in the house, I said, you can come around, but you need to take a shower first. And, I never put together until later down the road, 2 and 2, that actually now we believe that was the Sasquatch that's smelling like that.
Yeah.
And it's just one. There's only one that smells like that. And it's that one picture. Did you see that one picture? I sent you the picture of the one kind of standing by the tree, and it looks like it's partially cloaked and not cloaked, but you can see the structure of it, okay?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay, that one. And it was the one grunt, and the smell. That's why I took the picture. And I have another picture that I took, actually I think it was the next day there, to show people that where that was standing there, it was actually blocking several branches and stuff that was there. To show people that something was definitely standing there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the only one that smells. The other ones don't smell.
What did it smell like?
Wet dog. Just like you hear people say.
Yeah.
And my friend told me he was spending a night. He said, I smelled that last night when I walked around the pond. And he said, I was smelling that. Yeah, it comes and goes. When that one comes, I mean.
Yeah.
But that's how I know when she's around. And the reason why I say she is because one of my friends pointed out it looked like there was a baby on, like she was carrying a baby or something. And so we think it's a female. And that's why it smells like that.
Yeah.
But,
now, could you describe kind of, maybe a comparison of the feelings you get? You said you're sensitive and you've been sensitive.
I'm sorry, George, you're cutting out on me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Like, how you said that you're sensitive to spirits and other, paranormal stuff, like, and the feelings that you get. How does that compare to maybe how you feel when Bigfoot might be around?
Say it one more time. I apologize. You cut out again a little bit.
How you said that you're sensitive to spirits and other things.
Yeah.
How do you feel in comparison to the spirits versus maybe when a Bigfoot is around? Is there any similarities, or can you tell the difference?
No, not really.
Okay.
That's just it. There's nothing that I get. And sometimes the only way I know they're really around is they'll make a noise or I'll smell them. And some of the stuff they do now, I understand what I was hearing before all this happened, but I've had them walked next to me in the grass, and I'm thinking it was a ghost the whole time. And actually something hit my truck one night. I got in my truck and something punched my truck, like slapped it really hard.
Mm.
And, I don't think actually now that was a spirit. I think that actually was a Sasquatch. And, they grunt. I hear them grunt. I hear them grunt a lot. And, I tell you what though, when this all first started happening, I mean, I can't express enough how I was so scared to tell people. And sometimes when I talk about it now, I get nervous, to tell people about, not so much talking to you or other people that are learning or studying Sasquatch or whatever, but,
Mm-hmm.
to say it's been, your neighbors or,
yeah, right. Yeah, most people aren't gonna.
But when my friend came here, he's a Christian guy, and he's always been like, yeah, there ain't no such thing as ghosts, this and that. And then after hanging with me all the time, now he goes, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Sasquatch thing, he come over one time, and he said, Jimmy, I've heard, a sound outside. And I said, what was it? He said, it was what you told me when they go, whoop, whoop. And then he heard some growls, and of course now he's a Sasquatch believer. I don't know what to think about you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, when you hear that, it's a different story, right?
Yeah. But you know what, George? That's why I changed the name of our little organization, because I've really seen a lot of similarities now when it comes to Bigfoot, ghosts, even aliens and everything. And it's all equals dimensions. And I think they're all using these dimensions. I think the Sasquatch has come through. I think the spirits use them. And I got pictures. I don't know if you've seen them on my Twitter. If they're not aliens, and I don't know what the heck they are, but I tell you right now, it looks like an alien in my bedroom to me.
Mm-hmm. What's the name of your Twitter?
Jimmy Boots. Jimmy Boots, 1965.
Okay.
And then it says Haunted Man Productions on it. But, yeah, you see so much things like this happening, at one place at one time. Sometimes I just don't know what to make of it,
Yeah. Now,
I really don't.
Can you have you ever seen any, like, what people call orbs or anything like that?
All the time.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I actually showed where not all orbs are maybe spiritual. There is dust orbs and water droplet orbs, all that too. There is. Yes. But I went to a lady's house down the street, and she had a problem with the spirit, and she tried to get rid of it herself. The spirit actually hit her. So I went down to help her out, and I did. And I videoed where you see this orb, and then it turns into these lights. So I was able to show people that some orbs are definitely spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we do get a lot of them here. A lot of them. The orbs and a lot of the lights. A lot of flashing of little light flashes.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people see that too, especially people that live somewhere where things are happening, more so than people just walking around some other place.
Right, right.
Now, how about, have you noticed anything with the tree structures or any weird manipulations of trees, in your woods or?
Oh yeah, I got pictures. I thought I had them on my Twitter. We got, they made a big X here. And the only way they could make that is that sucker had to be every bit of 10 foot tall. My buddy went out there. He went and seen it. And then we had other things where they take the little trees and bend them and tie them together. We got some of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then they're really good hunters. They may be spiritual, but they still eat. And of course, the Bible says you still can want to eat in heaven too. But anyways, there's a deer trail over here by the pond. outside the pond into the woods. And they actually took a bunch of logs, brought them over to that section, and blocked the deer trail off and made them go, reverted the deer trail to where they wanted them to go.
Mm-hmm.
So me and a few other people are pretty positive that's what it is.
Yeah, that's definitely what it sounds like, And a lot of people are always asking what do they mean? Well, I don't know what they mean, but one thing I do think is that if you see a lot of them in one area, I think that it at least means that they're in that area, because sometimes when they leave, they take them down or dismantle some of them, like the teepee,
right,
and things like that.
Now we got a turkey here, and we had an abundance of turkeys, and so 2 years ago, I think it was, we had an abundance. Well, I started hearing what sounded like to be I say an 800, 900 pound turkey. And it's kind of funny because I would hear something trying to mimic a turkey sound.
Mm.
And then they would actually get it, though. Well, we had so many turkeys, it was unbelievable. And then finally, I guess they must have ate them all because they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Every last loving one of them.
Wow.
They was. But that's when I start hearing also the owl sounds, the screaming, the yelling as well. And I do know the difference between a lot of, all of our local animals, between fox, fox yell kind of crazy and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But and raccoons and so forth. But the stuff that when I tell you I hear is something that is not an animal of this realm at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the what can you describe some of the owl sounds that you've heard?
Well, they're like, all right, the best way to put it sometimes, it's like a horror owl, like watching a horror movie and it's an owl attacking people, and so it don't sound like a normal owl. It's like really loud and more than a standard owl would sound like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like warning somebody. That's what we were thinking it was as well. That they were, saying to the next group. Because what we do is we would hear the one do it, and then you would hear in the other distance somebody holler back.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, and the owls around here, they're more of a calm hoot, 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 don't pollute these things. The best way for me to describe it is like kind of like a horror movie, and they're a demon owl or something. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense or not.
Yeah. Now, do you get any sense of them? Whether they're kind of not friendly, or some people think they're evil, or some people think they're nice. Like, what's your sense of them being around?
I do not get any bad feelings at all, actually, with them. And I'm also a firm believer that if they pick you, you don't have nothing to worry about. I believe that, though, if you go, for instance, let's just say Canada, way up in there where there's some, and that's where you've heard about apparently Sasquatches sometimes may attack a hunter or throw rocks at them and literally almost hit them. Because they're staying away from people up there, so they don't want you to look for them up there versus where here they come to us, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that they came to me, and so if they came to me, they're not coming to me to hurt me, And Liz, let me tell you something. Every time she goes out lately, they do something to let her know they are there. I think they have a crush on her.
Okay. Yeah. What are some of the other things that she's experienced that are different from what happened you've seen?
Well, I mean, they do sometimes they do the wood the what do you call it, tree knocking, and sometimes they I have to. I wish she was up because I'd really like you to talk to her, but we can do that another time because she can tell you some of the things she experiences. But she says usually every time she goes out now, it seems like something's happening as far as a sound or. She said there was one where this was just a couple of weeks ago. She told me she said it sounded like a monkey across the pond.
Mm.
Yeah, like a monkey. And I said, well, it might, the limbs maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Know?
Now, would you say that since you've been living there, is the activity, is it year round, or does it seem like it's only certain parts of the year?
It's year round here. So I do not think that these migrate anywhere. They're here all the time. And sometimes they may not like I won't have activity for a week or two maybe, but then they'll start back up again.
Yeah.
Like that. But no, I don't think they ever left. And the hours, a lot of times it's been usually from, well, you know what? Day, it's been night, it's been day, it's been mornings. There's no real set time either.
Yeah. And the ones that you saw, I'm sure you told me, but you could tell me again. Was it at night or kind of in the daytime or, dusk dawn?
The white, the picture you seen of the white thing in the woods looking at you, that was taken at like 10 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I have one, when I was coming down my driveway, I think I sent it to you. It's not real easy to see, but you do see it. When you look in there, you see his teeth. I believe I sent that to you. But you can see his teeth.
Sorry.
They look like me and your teeth.
Oh, teeth.
Yeah, teeth. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It looks like it's the white and gray one. And I think I sent it to you. I believe.
The one that I'm looking at that looks like it's white. It looks like I see a couple of big eye sockets and maybe a mouth.
Okay, I did not send you the one that I'm talking about. I apologize. Yeah, that's the one that's across the pond. That was at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
The one right next to it, that was the very first photo I've ever got of one here. The night before, we had somebody that was here and saying, well, I hunt these woods and I never see anything. He ain't got no pictures. And then that morning, I got several pictures the next morning.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And then the other one the standing up there that has the baby and on front of the tree, that was actually, I believe, like I'm going to say 6 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all times of the day.
It is. It is. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one next to that, that's kind of hard to kind of make out what it is. I mean, I've seen something over there, but that was actually at like 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So you're feeling pretty comfortable living there? Like you're not planning to move or anything, or?
No, I don't feel. I feel actually very comfortable. The only time they ever messed with me was in the beginning when I really didn't know what I was dealing with, and I wore a handgun and I brought my big gun out. So it's kind of funny. I would say, look, I don't know you guys. I don't know if you're going to hurt me. I don't know. I'm not here to hurt you, but I'm just protecting myself just in case. Then I would feel this dread that they were surrounding me and showing me that, look, we want you, we can take you. And that's what it felt like.
Mm.
And, I think I made a couple of videos one night and I'm like freaking out and I'm pointing the gun one way and I'm pointing back the other way, because all this was new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I seen it, stand up, and I seen something stand up that was 9 to 10 foot tall. There's no way. Hey, I may have been a bounty hunter for 30 years, but I can't go against something like that.
Right.
But I don't bring a gun outside no more.
Okay.
and I don't ever get that feeling of dread. Ever since I stopped taking the gun outside, they stopped doing that. And it was funny because one night they were doing it, and it really was taking me hard. And I said, "Okay, I get it, I understand now." And they stopped. They stopped, and that was fine. So I went and bought the gun in the house, and that was it.
Okay. Now, do you ever notice, have you ever tried gifting or anything like that? Or have you ever noticed anything missing or misplaced or anything?
Only in the house with our other visitors.
Yeah.
But not outside, no.
Okay.
I did find a gift once that they had a couple of pieces of kernel corn that came from the field, and they came over here to this side, and they made a little, just something like a kid would do. It was little. Mm-hmm. I could tell that this one was not an adult.
It was a piece of corn.
Yeah, he had some corn there. Had a couple pieces of corn that came from the field across the pond here. So, on this side, and then they took some sticks. I do have some pictures of that as well. I'll pull them out too when you get them sent to you. Mm-hmm. But I do, yeah. It was. You could tell that it was something. I just say a child, would make. Yeah. And I think if a full-grown Sasquatch was going to leave me a gift, it'd definitely be pretty big.
Right. Yeah, that's really interesting. I had another question. I can't remember what it was. Like communicating. Remember, you said before you had a weapon, and then you maybe you talked out loud. Like, did you ever just talk out loud and say, "Hey, I'm just here to"?
Do.
Yeah.
I do sometimes. I'm actually doing it more now. I was actually talking to a guy up in Mike, a guy named Mike up in Canada, who actually had some videos out that I guess was communication with them. But he told me some things to do, and so I do that. Sometimes I laugh at myself, and it does look funny when you're standing outside and you point to yourself, nobody's around, you're going, "I'm Jimmy." I'm just hoping nobody in the neighborhood's down this way looking at me.
Right. Hey, sometimes that works. I know it's funny, but yeah, I mean, sometimes it works. So I don't.
Have you ever had it work for you, or?
Well, I've never been in a spot where I've, been talking. I never had anything near where I live.
Okay.
I've had some bad feelings a few times that I shouldn't be somewhere, and I left.
Right.
But
that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes when you go towards them, some of them don't want you around, and that's why they are where they are. And I truly believe that the ones that get a lot of things like I do, when they come to their property and their home, it's because they choose them. They choose to meet these people or to interact with them. And they you always hear about dreams. You ever heard about what people talk about them coming into dreams?
Yes.
Okay, I've only had that one time. But in a dream, they showed me there was many, and they liked to look through windows. But that's what they showed me in this dream. And I always have, on the paranormal side, I have spirits that come to me all the time in my dreams. And it's a lot different from a standard dream. You definitely know the difference. And I did with the Sasquatch dream as well. And, they weren't the prettiest looking things either, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But they just showed me they like to look through windows. And there's a lady, the same lady that was trying to get rid of a ghost in her house. Actually told us she had a dream, and she went out the front door and looked down the road there to the store, and there's a Sasquatch, she called it Bigfoot, down in the road. Well, a month or two later, I get the phone call from the owner of the store saying, he had footprints there. So I went down there. So that was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And this person is not a Bigfoot enthusiast at all, or a ghost enthusiast either. She just had a problem at the house and was needing help.
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened to me too. The first time I ever kind of went looking, the first night I had this, I heard wood knocks and then we heard a scream and stuff, and I was sleeping in a hammock that night camping. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and then I couldn't really sleep anyway. First of all, because I was in a hammock, which I'm not usually in a hammock, and then
right.
Second of all, we're in the woods and there's maybe Bigfoot around us. So, but I had this dream that they were there, kind of around me and like taking me down this path, and it was one of those really vivid dreams. It wasn't normal.
So they were showing you they were there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I that's how I kind of interpreted it, later. And of course, nobody believed us. They said it was a woodpecker, but whatever.
Yeah, we got a woodpecker here. You definitely know the difference.
Yeah. It was in the middle of the night.
And you had that guy in that video, that last video you did, with that fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was talking about the owls and the scream you guys put on there that I heard. That's what we have here. That's why I was like hitting you up again. I was like, hey, George, that's all here.
Yeah. So was it the longhouse that you heard that sounded like, or was it the wild Indian one?
Yeah, I think you had like the Indian one. Now I put up a video last week where I come outside and it sounded like, I thought it was Indian spirits maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had people start telling me that they said Bigfoot sounds like that too. And I'm like, huh? But that's what I heard. I don't know too much on that part of it.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
we can't see who's doing it, but, we can record it, and take our guesses.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's loud. It was really loud when it happened here. And it was really neat because when it was happening on one of my videos I got in my computer, the geese fly over top, and I was kind of happy because you definitely hear a big difference between each other. So nobody can go, oh, there's a geese. Now I can go, okay, well, let me play you some geese here.
Right.
Because it wasn't. But, yeah, so, you had a howling sound that was going on, I believe, on the video, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we get that here as well.
Okay.
That's
good. It's good that you've heard that too. A lot of people make comments, oh, those are coyotes. Well, maybe they are, but they don't sound like the typical coyotes that I hear,
Right.
So.
You know what, George, I think people are going to have another thing coming to them when we really find out what Sasquatch is. I don't think people really understand, and I don't think you're ever really going to be able to kill one like I hear people trying to talk about. I really don't. I think that, I believe they're definitely spiritual, just from the things I've seen here anyways. And, I've heard of them getting shot and getting hurt, but they've always been taken away, and it seems like they just disappear and get fixed. Mm-hmm. But, you hear a lot of different stories. You don't know what's real and not. I know you had quite a bit of interesting things down your guys' way, didn't you? With like that UFO and so forth, and Bigfoot sightings back in the 70s, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was for at least for 2 years straight. You know, there was a lot of Bigfoot reports and UFO reports. You know, I don't know if they were the same kind of Bigfoot. You know, some of them seemed a little different, but you know, who knows if there's different kinds? But I think there could be. And we're going up to that spot tomorrow. That's where I usually go when I go out, right to that same area. You know, we have cameras set up, so we're going to go pick up our cameras and walk around. We found footprints 2 weeks ago, so we're going to just check it out again tomorrow. You know, we're on this lockdown. You know, me
and Liz would love to come down there and check that place out.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate to have this stuff happening here, though. You know, and it's kind of neat now with this Corona thing going on. You know, it's like, you know, I can do a lot of stuff here, and I mean, you know, Jordan, when I say I work on these and research them for me, I do. And for the past 3 or 4 years, a day doesn't go by that I'm not doing something that's related to this. And I have seen so much with these things that if somebody would tell me the things I'm telling you, I would look at them and think they were crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would.
But yeah, do you put your videos on YouTube, or do you just put them on Twitter? What do you do?
Well, you know, honestly, there's a lot of, I really don't put, I just put pictures up most of the time and a few little videos. There's other things I'm trying to work on in life that I'm trying to do that had actually nothing to do with the Sasquatch part. I do paranormal. And of course, we're getting ready to do something that, I can't really reveal yet, but, that got shut down until after this Corona thing. So actually, I'm thinking about maybe I was going to start filming and actually doing live stuff out here. And that way, when things happen, people can maybe kind of get to see it firsthand. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, are you okay if I make a video about our conversation and put some of your pictures up, what we're talking about?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't mind at all. You know, I feel that, you know, we should all work together more on this. And, you know, Eric, right?
Eric.
This by you, Eric. What's his last name? Give it A, I think.
Eric Altman?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember, not long ago I hit him up, and I think he misunderstood me. And what I was trying to do is I wanted to have like him and a couple other guys that's been doing this for a while come out here with me, and us team up and work around here for a little while. Because we had so much going on, I want people to see what's going on here. And I think he thought like this was a first time thing for me or something. And he was hitting me up like with that guy Timmy that does a lot of storytelling and something this way. And I'm like, no. I actually met Timmy 4 years ago, yes. And he was actually, you know, he did help me because I didn't know who to talk to about this at the time. You know, and so Timmy did help me. But Timmy's more of a storyteller. He's got health issues and he can't get out like he wants to. You know, so he does a lot of research and tells things from research and, you know, what he does online and so forth like that. And that's what he does.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's the guy that helped us get started. You know, he let us join his group, Pennsylvania Bigfoot Society. So, but yeah.
Who, Eric or Timmy?
Eric.
Eric, yeah. He actually is a very nice guy, and it actually was kind of funny because when we first hit him up, I've been really disappointed with people because I've been having nothing but a lot of really bad responses from people sometimes. Not saying my stuff's not real or anything like that. Just a lot of fake people. And I was bitching a little bit to Eric when I first met him. I think he thought I was bitching at him, and he's like, "No, I got health issues, man." I said, "Oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry. That's not what I meant."
Yeah.
Now we're friends. I've never met him personally, but you know we do talk on line.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, poor guy.
Now,
So I was mad at him.
yeah, I mean, we had planned some trips. You're in like the eastern kind of southern part of PA, is that right?
Is he by you? Just cut out on me a little bit.
Yeah, he lives near me, and I was asking, you're in like the southeastern part of PA. Is that kind of where you're at?
I am between. The best way to explain it to you is between York and Harrisburg.
Okay, like Adams, is that what that county is? Or is that?
I'm actually York County.
Okay.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're planning to go out that way in August, but I don't know what. Yeah, we were because we were researching mountain lions in Pennsylvania too, so we were kind of going to go to a place that supposedly has both, out in Mishaw State Forest. So.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, if it's possible, maybe we could stop in and check out your place. I'm sure it's not that far away.
Sure.
Sure.
I'd be actually in August. That's plenty of time, and maybe get rid of the damn virus thing going on. And
yeah,
and I was kind of making a joke about the virus thing today. I said it kind of feels like holiday or something. And I want to say to everybody, Happy Corona Day.
What?
Kind of weird.
What do you think of all this stuff?
Liz thinks that this stuff was made to do this purposely. She really believes that this definitely was. I don't know. There's a lot of things. Liz is very intelligent. She's very good with biblical, and she believes everything's done by numbers. And she's shown me and proved to me over and over and over with things. She's very good with the stars and the planets. And she showed me where all this lined up, where it said this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, God, And there's a lot of stuff that I really haven't talked to you about because sometimes I'm so afraid to talk to people about it because a lot of the stuff with Sasquatch is happening here. Even when it happens to me, I go, did that really just happen? But you know what? It did. It did. I see what I see. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't even smoke cigarettes no more. And but a lot of things, like I said with Sasquatch, I truly believe is really people. They're really misunderstanding, I think, what Sasquatch truly is. I think we all are in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, are they there? Yeah, I believe they're definitely there. Do they eat food as well? Yeah, they do eat. They hunt, but they're also they to me they travel through the dimensions, and I got some pictures that I'll show you when I see you that I printed up from over here, and in these pictures you will see a mountain lion to a bear to, I mean, you just name it. I'm talking about spiritual looking of them, the ghosts of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the day she actually seen the white. What she said was she seen something white, whereas walking, heading towards the outside the pond there. She seen something very big and white. She said, and it appears to be a Sasquatch of everything I told her what I seen of the white one. But she won't sit there and say to you 100% fact that's what it was. But she will tell you that, yes, it's become very big and huge and white over there walking. And when that happened, she said, like, it just took these two big steps right behind this tree. And so that's when I was taking pictures. And I got some very, very interesting pictures. And she definitely... I'm telling you, it's definitely some type of dimension open up there. It's all related. It all somehow comes together.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, they definitely eat and all that stuff, but it seems like sometimes there's a little more to it,
It does. It does seem like there's more to it. And for them to be able to come in your dreams and to do different things like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they're comical as well. They can be funny. I've had them come up to my window and start whistling. Okay, and I hear whistling. I'm half out. It's 5 in the morning. I'm kind of tired, and I'm falling asleep. And I hear this whistling, and then it straightens out, and it sounds like a man, a human being, whistling a song. And as he's walking away from my window. Now we get sometimes they'll throw rocks. We pull rocks off the roof. They'll throw rocks and it'll hit the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll throw rocks. Sometimes they'll hit. And the only time they ever do this is when I have not been out for a week or something, interacting with them.
Mm.
How much like they're saying, come outside. But yeah, they've done rocks. We got them on the roof, and they hit the front here where my computer room is. It used to be a sunroom at one time, and I locked my keys in the house, and I had to break the glass. I put this tin thing up there to cover it up, and he hit that one night with a rock. Oh my God, did I jump?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do. Oh, it's nuts. I mean, it's just plain simply freaking nuts.
Well, I believe you.
Well, I can see why some people really freak out or think they're seeing things or hearing things or something's wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes we tell somebody, what happens, they look at you like you're a nut.
Yep.
I mean, Liz used to think I was nuts when I would talk about the spirits and ghosts. And then, one time we're in the bathroom and she hears, a man simply start talking and there's nobody in the bathroom but me and her.
Did you hear that too, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I always hear it, I'm always hearing them, all the time. I'm sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like being in a crowded mall. Somebody asked me what it was like, and I said, like being in a crowded mall or going downtown Baltimore City, and everywhere you turn, there's people all around you. I think it's like that sometimes. It is.
That's interesting. Yeah, I have another buddy like that too.
They tell you, yeah, and it is. Sometimes it can be monotonous because a lot of these are human spirits that, and I can be laying down in the bed and there'll be so many of them walking around sometimes it gets a little like, come on, guys. Or you'll wake up and one's standing right over top of you looking at you. You're like, come on, man. Really?
Yeah, at least you're used to it. It's not really putting you off, although it's unnerving, I'm sure, sometimes. But, Yeah,
you got to learn to, just like anything in life, you have to learn to get along with your neighbors as well. And, that's what I try to explain to people. They say, well, what if you got bad spirits? Well, I tell them they're welcome here as long as they don't mess with us.
Mm-hmm.
There's good and bad and all. But one thing I learned is when you do have something that could be bad and they can be powerful, I think I'd rather let them live among us as long as they keep their distance than try to get rid of them and they kill us.
Right.
They'll hurt us.
Just with somebody that's alive, you can interact different ways and get different results.
Right. Sometimes you just gotta, you may have a neighbor, you may not like your neighbor at all, but he's your neighbor and you have to get along, You're living there together, so you have to sometimes push things aside and learn to, just adapt, that's all, I'm not saying for somebody to be somebody's best friend, sometimes you have to just get along. And it keeps the peace. It keeps the peace, though.
Yep,
it does.
I agree.
It's not running them off, because everybody always tries to run back spirits off. So this way, you're being nice to them. They'll be nice to you. I hope.
Hey, do you ever go over to Gettysburg?
Do what?
Do you ever go over to Gettysburg?
All right, hold on 1 minute. Let me move because it was cutting out on me there.
Okay.
All right, try it again. Right now.
Do you ever go over to Gettysburg, PA, with the Civil War?
We do. We love history. And we actually were going to try to put a show together a few years back. and we were going to call it Ghost Hunters of the Civil War, actually. And then we were going to try to sell it. And all that stuff started with the Civil War thing going on, so we kind of pushed that aside, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we do. We do. We love history. We are big history nuts, you know. So,
yeah, one of the guys.
Go ahead.
One of the guys I'm going out with tomorrow, and I also did a video with him. He's on my channel. It's the second video I did about mountain lions. But he told me a story. He goes to Gettysburg all the time. He's big into history, and he was into ghosts and paranormal and stuff. And he said that he saw a ghost in Gettysburg, one that actually turned and looked at him and watched them like walk back and forth. And him and his family got a pretty good look at it, you know.
Yeah. We get a lot of intelligent spirits here as well, and it's pretty neat when they talk to you, like when we do a ghost box session, you know, and we're working on a documentary for a friend of mine. He's a award-winning documentarist for like HBO and stuff, and he found a letter in a book. It wasn't a book, actually. It was a thing on oh my gosh, sugars overseas. There, it was like what was that we found? Where's the yeah? Well, what was that? London, France. They were going to France, and he had a book that told you a different place to go to, and out fell a letter, and it was a letter that a guy wrote to a lady that was in love with him, yada, 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 with his two first names. And he decided to research that, and it turned into a documentary. And so we were trying to help him out a little bit, being the ex-bounty hunter. I thought maybe I could help him. Well, we decided also to do some paranormal stuff, maybe, and we were doing a ghost box session. And Liz said to the spirit, she said, "Can you say anything in French?" Well, he said Monet. Well, Monet is the painting that was involved in this documentary as well, that we didn't say anything about, you know, but the spirit knew it. And knew what we were talking about, you know. So, yeah, they're very intelligent, some of them. Very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, then they like to watch. They love to watch you, and they like to hide from you, but at the same time, they like to watch you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll send you a picture of what I'll have to send you a picture of a ghost I think is a ghost that I got about 15 years ago.
We're cutting out again.
I have a picture of a ghost I'll send you that I think is a ghost. Okay. Yeah. We were at a cemetery taking pictures.
My Twitter pictures?
Yeah, I did. I was looking through there, and there's so many pictures and things. I was going to ask you if you know, maybe some of the ones that we talked about tonight, like the lights or whatever, you could tag me in those or send me those too, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I'll get some stuff together for you. So, like, give me a few days. I know, like, tomorrow I got to run. I might have to run down to Maryland real quick, stuff like that. But, yeah, give me a few days, and I'll get that together for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I'll send you some of those pictures, too.
Hold on. Let me move again.
Okay.
Hold on. All right. How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yep.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, no rush on any of that. If you could send me those, that would be cool. And I'll send you that picture that I have, too. You could check it out.
Okay.
And,
that'd be great. That'd be great. And,
yes.
If I, like I said, there's anything you know that we didn't talk about, because there's so much, you know, activity that I've been dealing with here. I'm sure if I get off the phone with you, I'll be like, oh my God, I forgot to tell them about this and I forgot to tell them about that. And
yeah, that's how it always is. That's okay. But it was really nice talking to you and nice to meet you. And
thank you too, buddy. I appreciate you calling. And like I said, you know, when I see some of your stuff and then I heard the sounds in that one, I thought, my God, right there, you know, you put two things together, that's the same thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is about, helping one another. But some of these people don't want to help one another. They're in for it for a totally different reason. And I don't know if you know Tom Biscardi.
I've heard of him. I don't know him.
Yeah. That's all you want to do is just hear of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crashed my house. And when I say he crashed my house, he crashed my house. But let me tell you something. They found out what happens when you get a spirit upset. They didn't believe in spirits and ghosts. And when they left here, they were full believers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Black up going to Tom and everything.
Yeah, maybe sometimes people have bad energy, you know.
That's right. That's right.
And
I will. I'll get that stuff together for you, buddy.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Sorry I forgot to call you the last time. Sometimes I forget stuff, and I'm glad you pinged me again. So.
No, that's fine. Look, there's a lot involved with this stuff, you know, and I just know that, you know, there's some good people out there, and I think you're one of them. And
oh, thanks.
I think we can work together as you know, all of us, and come together with something eventually, you know?
Yeah, and if you ever want to promote any of your stuff on my group or my page, you know, you're welcome to do that. That's what I do. I advertise everybody's stuff, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still there. Can you...
Oh, okay. I was cutting out again.
Yeah, I was just saying, you're always welcome to advertise, you know, your page or whatever, pictures or whatever you have in my group, you know, because I like.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I put a lot of my stuff on Twitter because that's what I do. Like Facebook, there's a lot of people I know in all my life there on that.
Mm-hmm.
So some stuff I'm kind of afraid to. Some stuff I put up and I think, oh boy, what are they going to think? You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hear you.
But it is what it is.
Yep.
It is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, you need anything, you give me a call as well.
Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot, Jimmy. Nice talking to you tonight.
You too, buddy. Have a good one.